Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Trina and Ava. You know, I thought the conversation was kind of interesting because oftentimes when you ask somebody for advice, 9 times out of 10, you know what the answer is. And most people are just looking for confirmation on what to do. The whole thing with Spencer giving Trina an ultimatum. Gotta sit there and say, she has more patience than me. I don't do ultimatums. Okay, there is no or else kick rocks. I don't do that. I don't have patience for it. I'm just not built that way. Um, Trina's right as far as Spencer having too much of an attachment towards Ace. So when she was asking Trina, when she was asking Ava, like, don't you think, like, he has this unhealthy attachments, like she already knew the answer. And I get it was just mostly a venting session. And, Ava tells her to, just have a talk. The same conversation you have with me when you want to sit there and tell your feelings is the same conversation you should be having with him because, right now she doesn't want to sit there and talk to him. She wants to avoid him, which is honestly a good thing, you know? It avoids you saying things that you will regret saying later on. So, it was good to sit there and talk to her because arguing and arguing and arguing doesn't prove any. It doesn't lead to anywhere good. And Spencer is not there trying, to get Esme to stay. Esme is like, listen, I want my own life. You should have your own life. Um, I don't want Ace to sit there and get confused. The longer we're together, the more he's going to get confused, as opposed to like, what's your role, pretty much. Not that she said that, but it's like he's acting more like he is Ace's father than Ace's brother. And I imagine that she wants to just, you know, and granted, there's a whole other reason why she wants to leave, and that's a lot to do with falling for her. But I do also think that's a good idea as well. I can't imagine how hard it is raising a child and raising him under that circumstance of him trying to be the dad as opposed to being the brother is already just odd enough, you know? Hell, he even sits there and tries to bribe her. Hey, listen, you can sit there and quit this job right now. I'll set you up and everything like that. And he's trying to make it seem like, well, you're more better off with me. You got help and everything like that. And, if you're going to be by yourself or whatever, it's like mothers do that every day without help, um, which is the hardest job in the world. And he tries to, I guess, psych her out like, oh, you're just, you're just gonna be working and barely having time to sit there and take care. And she's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And I'll drop him off and stuff like that. You'll still get to sit there and see him. It's like everything he's not there trying to do, it just comes across as very manipulative, you know. And she puts her foot down. She's like, listen, you don't have to say so what I do, and I'm pretty much done with having this conversation. And she walks off, and Spencer calls someone. Um, I know he's gonna probably try to use that fake evidence at some point. I know it. I'm just waiting for that to happen and to see what she's gonna do. In all reality, I think she's gonna sit there and revert back to the old I was about to call her Ava because I think that's her actual name, but she's going to revert back to the old Esme, which I'll be totally thrilled with because this one is it's not working. It's not a terrible character, but I miss the old Esme. I feel like one of the things that this show is lacking is villains. I mean, yeah, you have Cyrus and I can't even sit there and say Mason or Austin because they're more just like I don't want to sit there and say morally gray, but like they're not real villains. They're forced to work for somebody who is a villain as opposed to just having somebody that just want to F stuff up. And I feel like that is definitely needed. Oh, even Nina's not even really a villain. Now, speaking of Nina, more specifically Carly, Carly goes to Sunny's place. It's like, why is Nina trying to sell me the half of the hotel? I'm like, what's the difference? Just take it. Why does it matter about her motives? You have an opportunity to sit there and get back everything that you want, like she said, and so just shut up and take it. I mean, her only issue is trying to come up with the funds, and Sonny's like, "Oh, well, I could sit there and give you the money," and she's all like, "No." Now, I don't know if her conditions are still she can't take money from um Sonny for some odd reason. I don't know why. I'm not even really too clear on why she can't take money from him or Michael. I don't even remember the reason why, but I know she doesn't want to do it because she doesn't want to be dependent on Sonny, and so okay, fine, do the whole Miss Independence thing, sure, whatever. Um, and I can get behind that. I cannot get behind the fact that she called Jocelyn, try to wake her ass up, even though Sonny was already there. I felt like that was the among the dumbest things that Carly's done. She's done stupider things, but that's just one of many. Um, they talk about that. They talk about Charlotte for a little bit, and she also is like, I like working at Kelly's, and so I get the conflict, and I get for some people it's not about the money. For me personally, I'm like, yeah, this is fun and everything like that, but I'm going for the hotel because you know it seems more prestigious, and more importantly, it's more money. So Um, I like Kelly's nice and everything like that. No keeping, the family business, but yeah, I'm choosing that hotel. I'm choosing that hotel. Um, let's see, so she'll think about it. We'll see what happens. So everyone's on the same page with as far as Anna, now as far as Laura, Nina, and Valentine, that Victor pretty much weaponized Charlotte to go after Anna. They read the letter, they saw the tarot cards and everything like that. And Laura drops a bomb as far as telling him that Charlotte wants to sit there and press charges. Personally, think those charges should go out the window, and I think that Charlotte should think twice before she decides to break into another hotel. I personally do think that there should be some consequences towards Charlotte. I mean, hell, Juvie, something. No, Juvie. Yep, no, I'm going with Juvie because at the end of the day, Valentine's not doing her any favors, and Anna's not doing any favors by trying to cover this up and minimize the amount of consequences that she should be facing because she's not going to learn the lesson. You know, the scene with Finn was actually interesting today. Kind of literally came out the blue. At first, it was Finn and Liz, and I'm sitting there just rolling my eyes like, all right, here we go again. But then, Portia walks up and she's very serious. She's like, yeah, I need to talk to you. And, they go in the office of Terry, and long story short, the dude's being sued for malpractice. About pretty much what it comes down to is that he didn't catch um, this patient's cancer in time and thought that it was like a tapeworm or something. And so his wife is there suing him. Portia and Terry is worried for the hospital because, a malpractice suit is not good. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, this kind of came like out of nowhere. It's like a case that happened off screen that he's getting sued for. So it seemed like it was kind of left field. But if they tell the story on screen, it can actually be interesting. So, actually, kind of looking forward to Smith seeing that. Um, because it's one of those things where it's like no one really wins, you know? No one really wins. You can see um, Finn's side of it, but, grief is a very powerful thing. Grief is a very powerful thing. Medical expenses, so I get it. Now, Cyrus pays Mason another visit. Mason's like, hey, listen, I'll just sit there and throw cousin under the bus. I'll sit there and say that, he was the brains of the operation. I won't sit there and even say I won't even sit there and say the letter C when I throw him under the bus. It'll be perfect. The Cyrus like, yeah, that's a no can do because, well, he's a doctor and I need him. And, Mason's like, oh, so you're just going to sit there and throw me under the bus? I'm like, well, let's see. He's a doctor and you're a gopher. Yeah, I think I need the doctor out here more than a gopher. But don't worry. I got you. You're gonna be comfortable in Pennsville. You're gonna be protected. You may even get out sooner than you think. So, sounds like a good deal. And I could have swore I remember Smith there saying something along the lines before, like, bro, um, even going back to when he said that, because Cyrus is still upset that Mason disobeyed him as far as the whole Ava thing. Mason was like, yeah, but I kidnapped her. She can ID me. I can want to go into jail. And you just wanted me to do that. Like, I was just supposed to just get thrown under the bus. Like, oh, just let her go and let her ID me. Couldn't do that. And I could have swore I said something along the lines of, Cyrus would have you. Cyrus may have your back. Because in all reality, he could have been shot and could have just been dead. That is the bottom line. He could have just been shot and just been dead. So, no, he's trying to make it seem like, well, I did the right thing to protect myself. I'm like, in the long run, you could have been dead and you disobeyed him and you can still be dead. So, and he said, now, Cyrus, before he left and made sure once again that he has to sit there and put the fear in God and Mason, he was like, don't worry, Austin will sit there and get his. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Meanwhile, Austin's sitting there getting grilled by Dante, which is somewhat kind of pointless. I mean, it's somewhat kind of pointless because he comes in there. He's like, listen, we could sit there and tie you to the stuff that went on with Mason. You've seen him a couple of times. There's people that can sit there and testify, and a lot of the visits that you was to taking weren't on the books, and it looked like he may have been culpable or an accessory to a lot of this stuff. So if I was you, I would sit there and give me some information. And of course, Austin's like, he's looking at this like, I don't really have much. It just comes across as more like, okay, you're building a case, and that's great. That could take a while. That could take years. Be what do you call it, a cold file, whatever. Because it's like you don't have anything down. So again, lawyer. And as he's walking, around the hospital, he gets a note from the nurse, and it's like a threatening note. He looks at I was gonna sit there and say, he looks at Cyrus. Cyrus is walking out of Mason's room, and he's smiling, smiling. He walks the elevator, and that pretty much kind of ends the scene. And I'm just like, did he? Like, y'all don't sit there and think that Cyrus killed Mason, right? I don't know. I guess. Well, I was gonna sit there and say, I guess we'll find out tomorrow, but I saw the preview, so I was like, I guess we'll sit there and find out maybe sometime this week. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Like I said, if they tell this story right with Finn, this whole malpractice suit, it could actually be pretty interesting. So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. I know that GH has disappointed me in the past, way more times than I can count, but hey, the fact that they just threw in this story with Finn must have meant that I guess the complaints just got so much where it's like, because they always, the couple always is complained by they're just very boring, right? They're just very boring, and I get that they're supposed to carry out the sweet romance and cutesy moments. Doesn't do a damn thing for me, but I know people do generally like those moments. Um, but I felt like enough people just got bored of it, and it was like, all right, we need to do something. What are we gonna do? Yeah, be malpractice. Yeah, yeah. Somebody died off screen. Yeah, we'll do that. Listen, I don't really care how they got there, just as long as they make that story interesting. I'll be with it. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got right now. I feel like there might have been more, but can't remember. Anyway, if there is, you know what to do. Come to a live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless. And if you are not a member, make sure you click um, the button in the description box and become a member. I do um, weekend live streams. I do videos for members only. And I do monthly member shoutouts where I will literally sit there, read out each and every single name, just as my way of sitting there shouting you out, show gratitude, and just for really supporting the channel and everything. And with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.